Hello and welcome to the Ogtv News. I am Mojisola Sholaja. On the news tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurates Technical Committee on New Minimum Wage. INEC parleys security agencies on 2019 general elections. President Donald Trump insists on Mexico border wall. The men who succeed are the efficient few. They are the few who have the ambition and willpower to develop themselves. We thank you for watching. The Ogun State Head of Service, Engineer Olariwaju Bisiriyu, has lauded the affordable housing fund scheme of the Gateway Bank as a welcome idea for the upliftment of the workers' well-being. Engineer Bisiriyu, who spoke when he received the Managing Director of the bank, Mr. Wale Oshisonya, during a courtesy visit to his office at Okemoson, Abeokuta, said the mortgage plan targeted at providing low-cost accommodation at a single-digit interest rate of 6% would enable the state workforce have roof over their heads, thereby reducing housing deficit in the state. The head of service stated that the workers' welfare remains paramount functions of his office, affirming his commitment to better their lots, which will in turn encourage them to be more productive.
So it is on this note that I want to assure you that we will do all things possible to make sure that we are partners in progress when it comes to giving confidence to our TV civil servants. We do that. We also realize that we also have responsibility of advocacy to our people, because one thing is for you and I to see something that is good. Another thing is for them to see it in that way too. And that we have very big responsibility.
In his remarks, Oshisonya affirmed the readiness of his organization to deliver 250 units of two-bedroom flats this year, saying forms will be made available soon for prospective applicants. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has commenced another phase of distribution of permanent voter cards to eligible voters who are yet to collect from 2011 till date. Ogtv News roved around different wards in Abeokuta metropolis and observed that people are trooping out to collect their PVCs to enable them participate in the coming general elections.
For the collection of PVC?
Well, the collection of PVC, before then, let me just tell our people that we have a lot of PVCs in our custody now. For those people that registered in 2011 and were unable to vote in 2015, we want to tell them that their cards are ready in large numbers now. And those people that are registered in 2017, 2018, almost all the cards, we have them. So we want to tell our people that they have the opportunity of going out to collect.
Simultaneously, the distribution of permanent voter cards, PVCs, to registered voters is ongoing all over the country. Here in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, eligible voters were trooping out to get their PVCs, ranging from those who registered in 2011 to others who registered last year.
Since 2011, time I've been doing this, but at last I got it. 2011 ni mo ti ṣe, like mo ti ń retí ẹ̀, so tí mi ò rí, mo ti dààmú gan, ọ̀dẹ̀ bá wọ́ọ́rọ́ kọ mi, mo bá mi rí, mo dúpẹ́ fọlọ́run. Ẹ ti wá gbà wá. Yóò gan mo rí tìyàwó mi gan ní mi dùn pé màá lọ fún ìyàwó máa bọ̀ wá gba káàdì ẹ o.
Yes, transfer of I think polling units from other local government to Abeokuta South. No, it was so straightforward. I went online to print the voter identification number, so I just submitted and filled the form. Then I went to the polling unit to collect. That's all.
However, some eligible voters are yet to get their cards despite registration.
2011 ni mo ṣe, so mo dẹ̀ ti para látijọ́ mo ìjẹta, so mo wá nílé ni mo wá wọlé nọ́mbà tó pín fún wa àwọlé, so nígbà wọ́n dẹ̀ gba ìtọ́ máa gbà ilé ọdẹ ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ ń wo bẹ́ẹ̀ títí tó fẹ́ wò ọdẹ gbélé mi láwọn náà mo wò lọ.
ọdún tó kọjá yìí ni mo ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tí wọ́n wá sọ pé kò ti jáde mo dẹ̀ ti parí báyìí ti jẹ́ta mo ṣì wá sáínẹ̀kì àná náà the same thing èní náà mo tún wá nígbà tó tún náà ti máa gbé wọn wá síbi tá a ti ṣe mo tún wá lẹ́nìí náà wọ́n wá sọ pé kò ti jáde gbogbo wọn tá a dẹ̀ jọ ṣe ń gbà kan náà ti gbà.
On the rumors of PVC selling, stakeholders speak.
Yes, the selling of PVC is just like one selling out his or her consciences. And the implication is you have no say in whatever government that come in places. And in the area of the law, it is another form of corrupt practices for you to sell your PVC and to endanger others. So we are telling the people outside there that both the buyer and the seller, they are corrupt agents.
They should know that, okay, if you sell your vote now, if you sell your PVC, it's as good as selling your vote, because the PVC is your ticket to vote on election day. It is your passport, and once you have given it to another person for whatever reason, for any amount you so desire, then that means you won't be able to vote on election day, and this will even affect the outcome of the election. So because a vote can make a winner emerge, and you can make a candidate lose an election. So you should know that your vote, your PVC is your right, and you should not sell it for whatever reason.
INEC spokesperson said efforts are ongoing to ensure that all the cards are distributed to registered voters before the end of January 2019. Ito Fabaju, Ogtv News.
Allied People's Movement Ogun State has assured residents of Ogun Waterside that it will leave no stone unturned at improving economic potentials spread along the stretch of Abigi, Lomi Road to Ayila, the boundary areas of a neighboring state, towards boosting business outlook in the zone and Ogun State in general. This came to fore during the word-to-word tour of the APM campaign train with the party's gubernatorial candidate, Honorable Adekunle Abdul Kabir Akinlade, to the area. Peter Falomo reports.
The Allied People's Movement campaign train in its second day at Ogun Waterside tours the rest of the 10 wards in the council area. The campaign team were received by party faithful at Ayila ward, the first port of call. It became a good news for APM members at Ayila as Monday Badmos led 100 campees from other political parties to Allied People's Movement, APM.
We are 100 in number today now. You can see them standing beside me now. Akinlade is a man because he's able to do it. He's our next governor.
A community leader, Chief Olusegun Awulere, as well as Hausa and Igbo leaders in the area, speak on the potentials of Honorable Adekunle Abdulkabir Akinlade as the next governor of Ogun State.
Akinlade, I believe we made a call in our cabinet, in our palace, and we decided this is a person that can change here.
Inshallah, I'm ready to support. I'll be free. I'm ready to support all music to my people.
Zonal chairman of our NSND was Oyibo community. Are solidly behind him because he is the man of the people. He is the man who don't know that you are not indigenous of Ogun State, or you come from Ijebu, or Yewa, or Egba. Provided you are living in Ogun State, you're still not Ogun State. We will vote for him. We will support him morally and physically. Spiritually, we will be with him. And we pray that Almighty God will give him victory.
Other wards visited in the area include Ayede Lomiro and Ilushin Lukogbe, while Abigi Ward played host to mega rally. In his address, Ogun State APM governorship candidate Honorable Adekunle Akinlade assured a gathering of the party's focus to build on business potentials in the council area as embedded in a 20-year blueprint.
I, your son, Honorable Adekunle Abdulkabir Akinlade, editor, assure you that given the opportunity, either 4 or 8 years, inshallah, that I will serve this great state with honor, in truth, and with dignity. That I will abide by whatever understanding and agreement we reach. I will develop every part of this state equally. That I will spread development. I will continue to come so that you can see for yourself that what we agreed upon, I kept my word.
The campaign train moves to Yewa South local government area of the state. Peter Falomo, Ogtv News.
And still on politics, Honorable Mukaila Olayiwola Kazim, popularly known as Mickey Kazim, has flagged off his House of Representatives campaign under the Allied People's Movement. Honorable Kazim was joined by the governorship candidate and deputy governorship candidate of the party, Honorable Abdul Kabir Adekunle Akinlade, and Mrs. Adekweju Adebaju at Okeshokore in Abeokuta, venue of the flag-off.
One good turn, they say, deserves another. For someone whose one term of legislature as a House of Representatives member brought good dividends of democracy to his people, calling on them for a re-election will not be too difficult. For Honorable Mukaila Olayiwola Kazim, member House of Representatives, Abeokuta North, Obafemi Owode, and Odeda local governments, it is that time again to seek re-election. To a worthy politician whose deeds in the last 4 years transformed these local governments, the governorship candidate of his party, whose train was on his way to Yewa South local government to continue with his campaign towards the 2019 general elections, stopped by to hand over the party's flag to him and other House of Assembly members, and also tell people what to do.
I'm telling you that for free. APM, this is somebody who stood by that party. He fought on the floor of the house to sustain, to retain and maintain the integrity of that party. He stood and fought. When after he did that, they said, okay, we don't want consensus. He must go and do direct primary. Our people came out, you voted for him. Now they went to steal that mandate. I will say no problems. You will come back. When you come, you meet the people. Now, let them come. Come out in peace and vote for Mickey Kazim. Vote Tesodwe. I am confident. APM, I will not talk about myself here today because I know this is my base, this is my home. I know I am covered. My second, I am covered in Abeokuta North. My vote will be 100% Abeokuta North. Oh, yeah. I am going to be that. Oh, yeah.
People in their numbers from the 3 local governments Honorable Mickey Kazim represents are here to drum their support for his re-election.
Job speaks for him. He has been doing a wonderful job. You can hear it when he was talking. This is the name that has been given. He's called Mr. Empowerment. He has been making positive impact in the lives of our people, both in Abeokuta North, Obafemi Owode, and other local government. He's a man that we all respect so much. We know that he can deliver more. Whoever is against him in this federal constituency, we know is against humanity.
Honorable Mukaila Kazim, in his acceptance speech, promised more dividends of democracy.
So I'm coming out here to tell my people to give me the second chance, which they are saying they're giving to me already. I mean, I'm not just begging for this on a platter of gold. I'm begging for this due to my past performance. And I'm saying to them, if I'm re-elected, I will do more. I will go beyond their expectation and give them what they call dividends of democracy.
Honorable Kazim asked for this local government's support on February 16, 2019, as he contests as member House of Representatives.
This is the beginning, and I can tell you by God's grace that by the time we meet to sit down, come 16th of February and 2nd of March, it will be victory all the way. Amen. Amen. Victory, victory, victory. Thank you.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has called for a different approach to the deployment of security forces during elections. The demand came about 37 days to the 2019 general elections, and at a time campaign have commenced nationwide and preparations already at advanced level. The chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, stated this in Abuja during the Commission's regular quarterly consultative meeting on the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. According to him, the meeting was convened primarily to update members of the ICCES on the Commission's preparedness for the 2019 general elections, and also to hear from the security agencies concerning the preparations so far. The Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security consultative meeting was attended by a representative of the National Security Advisor and heads of various security agencies in Nigeria. Still ahead, President Buhari inaugurates technical committee on new minimum wage. More news after this break. Stay with us.
Data ó ń lò ní gbogbo ìgbà láti fi orin sí orí ẹ̀rọ rẹ̀. Ó ń lò lè fi wo oríṣiríṣi eré àgbéléwò láti orí ẹ̀rọ rẹ̀. Ó ní àwọn ilé ìfowópamọ́ fi ń ṣe àmójútó owó rẹ̀. Kò ṣeé má ní fún ayé ìgbàlódé. Data gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn tó ṣe ìwádìí orísun rẹ̀ ṣe sọ. Púpọ̀ àti púpọ̀ ọrú rẹ̀ wá láti ibi. Wọ́n ti gbà pé Glo ní nẹ́tíwọ̀kì tó tóbi jù. Pẹ̀lú Glo One submarine wire wọn, àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ abẹ́ omi ti so gbogbo rẹ̀ pọ̀ lónìrànràn. Pẹ̀lú 10 ti ẹgbẹ̀rún kìlómítà okùn ìrírò ẹ̀rọ wọn. Glo lè pèsè dátà oníyekíye ní ìrọ̀rùn pẹ̀lú owó tí ò gani lára rárá. Ṣòtìrì Glo wà nínú afẹ́fẹ́ ní ibi gbogbo. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ́rí fún ọ̀gá àgbà.
Dátà ni èmi tà mí. Gba ìdá 125 lórí gbogbo ètò dátà, ìfà dátà, ìdá 25 tí kò ní tàbí ṣùgbọ́n nínú lórí atúmìṣe ètò dátà ní kíákíá. Tẹ *777# láti yan ètò dátà tó fẹ́. Kò nídìíwọ́, kò nínira.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Ogtv News. In furtherance of the unshakable resolve of his administration towards the implementation of the new national minimum wage, President Muhammadu Buhari has inaugurated a technical committee that will advise federal government on strategy for sustainable funding of the wage increase. While performing the ceremony, the president, however, made it clear that when passed into law, all those now earning above the new minimum wage will have their emolument renegotiated. President Muhammadu Buhari no question whatsoever regarding the over-review of Nigerians' national minimum wage.
I am committed to a review of the minimum wage. We are currently working on the final series of steps leading to the submission of a national minimum wage amendment bill to the National Assembly.
The president said if another issue is in the exclusive legislative list, considering the prevailing economic challenges would make it difficult for some workers to get paid as and when due, state governments have been carried along in the negotiation for over-review of the workers' emolument. Already, he explained, adequate provision has been made in the 2019 budget of continuity to meet the additional costs that will be incurred as a result of the wage increase.
After the new minimum wage has been passed into law, we will be going into negotiations for salary review for all those who are already earning above the new minimum wage. It is therefore important that we are properly prepared to meet these demands.
President Buhari said the consequential adjustment of wages must be implemented in a manner that does not have negative effect on national development plans as laid out in the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, which state appropriate targets for, among others, capital expenditure, public debt, inflation, and empowerment.
Implementation of a new minimum wage does not adversely affect these targets and thereby erode the envisaged gains for the workers.
The technical committee therefore has, among other terms of reference, to identify new revenue sources as well as areas of existing expenditure from where savings could be in order to fund the wage increase without adversely affecting the nation's development goals. An economist and financial expert, Bismarck Ruwane, is the chairman of the committee, which has 4 weeks to submit its recommendations. The last time the national minimum wage was reviewed was in 2011. A recent survey by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) and the World Bank shows that Nigerians spend more money to recharge their phones than they spend on feeding. Yusuf Ganiu in this report speaks with some Nigerians on how much they spend on recharging and feeding. His report.
A survey by the National Bureau of Statistics and the World Bank Living Standard Measurement Study Group has indicated that Nigerians spent about 449.7 billion naira monthly on recharge cards, thereby making recharge cards account for 72.3% of expenses made by the sampled households monthly, against the combined 37% that cover food, personal care and household products including petrol. It is on this basis that some Nigerians react on how often they recharge their phones compared to what they spend on feeding.
My recharge card is more than my feeding. At least quarterly or daily, there's no day I don't recharge 1,000 naira card. And for my personal feeding, I don't feed myself more than 300 naira a day. Generally, averagely, we can say 80% of the populace recharge more than they are feeding.
Roughly 500 naira every day, because I have many people to call because of my business. I put it that it is second wife. When you are managing your house, if your recharge card is finished on your phone, you have to recharge again.
Owó tá a fi ń recharge lójúmọ́ ó ti pọ̀ ju owó tí a fi ń jẹun lọ, tá a fi ń ṣe nǹkan míì lọ. Kò dẹ̀ sí bí èèyàn ṣe lè ní fóònù lọ́wọ́ lóòótọ́ tí ó bá ní káàdì lórí ẹ̀. A ṣe ìwọ náà pé even gan ẹlòmíì owó tó yẹ kó fi jẹun àárọ̀ a sáré lọ ra káàdì pé ó mọ̀ pé tóun bá ní káàdì lórí fóònù ebi ò lè pa òun.
Respondents on this issue say recharging should be on cogent personal issue and business development.
If you're in business, of course, you know that you have to be making contacts every now and then to ensure that the money that you will use to feed yourself and your family comes in. And without telephone nowadays, you'll not be able to do much, because we are supposed to travel to. That will take you hours before you get to the place. You can do that within minutes on your phone.
What should Nigerians take cognizance of while recharging?
The purpose for which you are spending, especially on recharge cards. If it's for business, fine. If it is to connect people who are dear to you, are close to you, fine. But you have to try and to gauge it so that it will not honestly affect your livelihood.
As good as GSM is to the socio-economic development of the country, it is important for Nigerians to set priorities, budget their expenses and stick with it. Yusuf Ganiyu, Ogtv News.
Food, which is any substance consumed to provide nutritional support for any organism, needs to be consumed at a normal temperature to avoid reintroducing microorganisms that are harmful to human health. Nutritionists who spoke with Ogtv News highlight some of the dangers of consuming cold food, especially during cold weather. Elizabeth Esso reports.
A healthy diet is a diet that helps to maintain or improve overall health. It also provides the body with essential nutrition like fluid, nutrients, and adequate calories. For people who are healthy, a healthy diet is not complicated and contains mostly fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and includes little to no processed food and sweetened beverages.
Taking hot food in the hot weather is very good because it keeps you warm internally. Although whatever you take, once it gets into your body, into your GIT, it blends with the temperature of your internal organs. It's no more the temperature at which you're taking it.
These foods, according to experts, vary in consumption, either cold, hot, or warm to normal room temperature level.
So when you're talking about cold food, we're talking about maybe foods less than 10 degrees centigrade, thereabouts. And when you want to take echo now, let's agidi. Echo. If you want to take it, you can't take it out. You have to take it cold or warm. So taking agidi in this cold weather has no effect. But it depends on what you are taking the agidi with. If you take agidi cold with momoy warm or hot, for this weather, it's a good combination.
Part of cold foods is that some people are allergic to cold foods. By the time they take cold foods, they become irritated. It can also lead to gastrointestinal tract infection, which is known as GIT infection.
Microorganisms don't survive in hot food. They die while cooking the food, but allowing the food to get cold before eating will reintroduce the bacteria, thereby makes eating the food in a hot state more beneficial to the body system.
And some microorganisms tend to produce toxins, which are poisonous. So that is it. When you see some people, they said they consume food poisoning. It's not really poison, but the toxins they produce in that food are toxic substances and can lead to food poisoning. And if one is not careful, it will have. It is in form of stages. If to vomiting, diarrhea, then if we are not careful, the person we can lose such person.
The microwave, we believe it has these radioactive materials that once it gets into food, it can cause it damages to your organs or even your body system, like what we call the free radicals. It increases the number of free radicals in the body. But it depends on the container you're using now. You want to microwave your food, you're putting a plastic material into the microwave. At the end of the day, you get there are some dioxin that comes from the plastic and some other chemicals. I would prefer, if you want to keep your food hot or you want to eat your food hot, put it on the stove and warm. It's the safest way. That's what our forefathers were doing, and they were more healthier than we now.
It is advisable during this cold weather that one should endeavor to eat at least warm food for maximum healthy living at all times. Elizabeth Esson, Ogtv News.
The Nigerian Army has flagged off Operation Egweku 3 of the Northwest region in the country in Birnin Kebbi. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Yusuf Tukur Buratai, while flagging off the operation, said the exercise will address lingering insecurity challenges in the nation.
Defense and national security is not all commerce affairs. No one is permitted to divulge any information that is injurious to national security. This is contained in the Official Secret Act 1962.
Drawing the attention of Nigerians on the importance of national security, the Chief of Army Staff said Operation Egweku 3 has mandate to address issues of fake news, wrestling terrorism and kidnapping, among other crimes. General Buratai similarly said the objective of the existing army operations in the country is with additional manpower, equipment and resources to end the problems of existing security challenges in Nigeria. Governor Abubakar Atiku Baguda lauded the commitment of the Nigerian Armed Forces in safeguarding the nation.
A sense of identity and belonging, and so we are not entirely, even though we are so happy and proud of him, but we are not surprised when he agreed graciously to commence this training exercise in Kebbi.
The Operation Python Dance 3 is a collaborative exercise by the Nigerian Army and other security agencies in the country. Medical outreach was also carried out in Zuguru community, where people with different ailments were attended to. On a similar event, Chief of Army Staff also commissioned the Command Science Secondary School boys in Jega and Command Science Secondary School girls in Godu, Birnin Kebbi. The 2019 Armed Forces and Remembrance Day celebration will kick off in Ogun State with a special Jumat service on Friday, 11th of January 2019 at the Central Mosque, Kobiti, Abeokuta at 1 in the afternoon. The interdenominational church service will come up on Sunday, 13th of January 2019 at the Cathedral of St. Peter's, Ake, Abeokuta at 10 in the morning. The Governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikula Moson, will lead other top government functionaries, traditional rulers, and other distinguished invitees to grace the event. The grand finale comes up on Tuesday, 15th of January at the Arcade Ground, Governor's Office, Okemoso, Abeokuta at 10 in the morning with a parade by the armed forces, police, and laying of wreath in honor of the fallen heroes. All invited guests, top government functionaries, and civil servants are to be seated 30 minutes before the commencement of the event. On the business news segment, World Bank projects 2.2% GDP growth for Nigeria in 2019. Stay tuned for this and other stories.